Hey everyone, today we're playing a game called Lift Your Spirits. I'm really interested in how this game is gonna go, so let's get into it. Content warning very important. Screen shaking, abrupt flashing, blinking, and sudden loud noises. Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spinning it here. My fingers were sluggish as they typed out the last bit of conclusion needed to finish off my paper. I didn't even bother spell checking the rest. My hand dragged the cursor across to close the document. Alright, time to submit it. Typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. Kindly find the attached file of assignment. Your student. Ooh. Yellow. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. 2:53 a.m. Ooh. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in its hold once again, it seems. At least it's the weekend. 2:53 on a weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it was without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. Everyone else left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck in submitting their assignment this late? I considered myself lucky Mr. Holtman gave me an extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there were also the rumors. Disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms, heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those who were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette skulking around the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. I wasn't the superstitious type, but I had to admit the eerie silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. I was recalling all the gossip spread around the student body when a sound made me perk up. Didn't just make me perk up, I jumped. I glanced behind me over the monitor to see if someone had come in. Nobody. I ignored the goosebumps rising on my arms and gathered up my items into my bag. Oof. Superstitious or no, I've done what I've come here for. Time to go. Shambled to the elevators and tapped the button. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way up to my floor. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here, I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me, as if expecting someone there. Yet it's always empty every time I look. I tapped the button some more. Ooh. The hairs on the back of my neck stood as if I was being watched. Clenched my fists, ignoring how sweaty they felt in my pockets. That's ironic. Is there someone behind me? Oh, I jumped. Oh. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. The chipper background music they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they're still playing it at this hour. Almost. Pressed the button for the ground floor, the elevator moving with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, I stared at as the numbers slowly descended. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. I thought of the things I could do once I got home, just to distract myself for the rest of the ride. A shower, for sure. Microwave dinner, probably blinked up at the flickering lights. Oh, elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. The music cut out. I tried the button for the ground floor, then the rest. Unresponsive. Oh. The intercom gave nothing but static. Hello? This can't be happening. Oh, taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. Is anyone out there? I'm stuck in here. Help? Oh, I started slamming the doors as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help, please, I'm in here. I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why? Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the door in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. Ooh, I was about to turn before I felt a chill roll up my spine. The air felt heavy. Is this claustrophobia setting in? Glad you went to claustrophobia. I went to ghosts. And think I had a fear of closed spaces. Unless... Oh, there was a raspy moan from behind me. I turned my head and screamed. Oh, I don't want it. Whatever it is, I don't want it. Okay. Growing blotch of darkness, an oozing mass that seemed to melt through the walls. I scrambled away, my back flat against the doors. Oh, a hand emerged from the writhing form, grasping at the edges. Foul-smelling black ichor dropped from its fingers. Ooh. Another arm followed suit, clinging to the other side. I couldn't look away. Ooh, I couldn't find my voice to scream. A face took shape. Ooh, a pair of hollow eyes and a manic grin with several teeth seemed to smile directly at me. I blacked out. Ooh. Up. Wake up. Wake up. Hey. I heard a voice, panicked and flustered from above me. Ooh. Hello? A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked back to consciousness. You're alive. I couldn't really check for a pulse, so... Anyway, are you alright? I think so? Whew, I'm glad. Didn't mean to scare you back there. Realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me, looming a few good inches past my head. Their limbs looked even more awkward in a baggy sweater they had. Wasn't sure if they forgot to wash away their makeup or if they just hadn't slept for 3 days straight. Possibly both. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long, as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So... I suddenly remember the last thing I saw. That creepy shadow from the walls. Before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I know it sounds insane, but I swear it looked straight out of a horror movie. The stranger looked nervous. They think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you, for sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry. I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? Come again? What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help, and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. Are you saying that was you? Yeah, in a way. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive. Not the way you are. They mean... You mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard the rumors, right? Well, it's me, in the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. I'm gonna believe him. Yep. I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. The stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd ask for your name, but I already know that it's Yellow. How did you... I've been watching you for a while. Excuse me? Tonight! I've been watching you for a while tonight! It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Before I could ask further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see you write your paper. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nevertheless. Thanks, I think. They gave a shy smile. No problem. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. Should probably ask for their name instead of calling them stranger. You know my name, but what about yours? Oh! They looked away, fingers picking at their sleeve. I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes widened as if the thought had never occurred to them. I never needed a name, but if I were to have one, I've always liked the way Alma sounds. It's perfect. Their smile widened. Thank you, Yellow. Alma went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they'd feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts were running wild, from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words past our introductions, to be honest. They started humming softly, as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, I could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you, Alma had a knowing look in their eyes. Oh, man, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. Insist. Despite having no blood flowing through their veins, their cheeks seemed to darken. We don't have to get into it. But I really want to know, please. They hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me? Promise. Okay. So I was staying late working on an assignment just like you. No one was around. Even back then, I was known as a loner most of the time, and it didn't bother me. While I was working, I got thirsty. No big deal. So I headed over to the vending machine for a drink. They paused, hands shaking. They clasped at their wrists and twisted before continuing. Just a soda. Not much to ask, right? I paid for the thing, but somehow my hand got stuck in the dispenser. So I pulled, and well... They struggled a bit before I waved for them to continue. It fell. I felt my whole body being crushed under the weight. I couldn't even cry out for help. And the whole time my hand was still stuck on that thing. Not that I could even tell. I think my wrist was beyond saving at that point. They sunk into themselves. And I tried to get some cheap soda. How pathetic is that? Aw, I'm sorry that happened to you. Put my hand over theirs. Passed right through, giving an ice-cold chill on my fingertips, but almost seemed to appreciate it nonetheless. They looked at me, their nervous hands finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about it before. I didn't think it would feel this freeing. Thank you. You know, I think you're a really great person. I want to help you get out of here. I tilted my head. How are you gonna do that? I can try some things, that is, if you trust me. Yeah. Oh, our only option is trust. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Ooh, before I could ask further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged into my throat as my weight shifted upwards. Alma! Hang on! Let me focus. The buttons for each floor flashed behind me. Closed my eyes shut and decided to trust them. Felt like a roller coaster headed straight to the ground. The air whizzed around me. I grit my teeth and clenched my hands, knuckles probably white if I bothered to look. And just like that, it stopped. I yelped as the elevator jolted. Oof. I landed on my ass with a smack. Oh, that was loud. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. They looked over to see me on the floor and gestured towards the doors. They creaked open as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it! I did. I never got to do that before. I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood there and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through them. They yelped and backed away to the wall. Give a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Ah, sorry. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors, Alma following suit. Sure enough, the lobby was empty. The clock on the wall indicated it was close to 4 a.m. now. Well, I guess this is it. Turned to see them trying hard to not reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. It all happened so fast. Sunk in now that I could leave and go home right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nod understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me before averting their eyes. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped at my phone inside my pocket, mustering the courage to ask what I was about to ask. Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Would you want to hang out? Yes! But why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I like you. Once again, their cheeks darkened despite being them. I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Great. Preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped a beat as they laughed lightly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week? Yeah, don't worry about a time or place. I can always find you, wherever you are in the building. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Yellow. I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulling my phone out to call for a driver from one of my apps. When I turned to look back, Alma was already gone. Oh, I got a good end. Friends for life or more. There's more than one ending? Ooh, okay. Okay, if you guys like this game, I'll keep playing to try and see what the other endings are. That was a really cute game. It also was really good at being creepy there at the beginning. Like, I was very unsettled. It was very clever. If you liked this game and you want to play it for yourself and see those other endings before I get to play them, I'll toss the link down below for you guys. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us while we played this game. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!